Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I wanted to share a little story about why I dropped out of college. And this isn't something that just happened. It's not like I just dropped out and I'm telling you guys now. This happened like 4 years ago when I was probably 20 years old. Now I'm 24. So around like 3 to 4 years ago is when this happened. But I just wanted to share a little story, sort of share a little about myself and sort of the reason behind this decision. So for me, growing up, like being in high school, most people my age, where I was from, and where I lived, went to college, and it wasn't really normal for someone not to go to college. So, my entire time during high school, I was planning on going to college, and I was planning on, taking the normal route that typically, lots of people, at least in this day and age, take, getting good grades in high school, trying to go to college, and then, eventually land a job after you're in college. But, when I was in high school, I was planning on going to college right away, but actually, near the end of my senior year, I had this idea to take a gap year after high school. So that's actually what I did first. I actually decided to take a gap year. I did like this gap year program, got to have tons of awesome experiences, had internships in different places, got to live in like Philadelphia for a while, had an internship there with like a kindergarten class, which was pretty fun. And then I went to like the Middle East, to Rwanda, lived in Rwanda for 3 months, had other internships, and, sort of learned tons of stuff along the way. But that's what happened after high school. And then, while I was on my gap year, I was still planning on going to college, which is what I did after my gap year. I decided to go and go to college after taking my gap year. And so I spent my first year in college. I'm at a college in California for a year. I'm from Texas, but decided to, go somewhere different, have some more experiences. But after that first year in college, I started to think about it. I was like, is this really what I want to do in my life? Is this really sort of the path that I want to take? Because I think that, if college is what you want to do and it sort of gets you basically where you want to go in life, then, I'm all for it. You should, do what it is that you think, makes sense for your life. So for me, I didn't really want to, work a normal job. And so with that being the case and really having the desire to sort of do my own thing, I didn't see, going to college as being a necessity. And so after my first year, after thinking about it a lot, praying about it, trying to decide exactly what I wanted to do, to make the decision whether to stay or to, not go back to college. Basically, I was just thinking, okay, if this isn't where I see myself going, then why am I going to do this? So in May of 2018, I ended up deciding finally, officially, that I wasn't going to go back to college. So sort of looking back on that time and that decision I made, 3 or 4 years ago, I'm definitely very, very glad that I did make that decision because it's, enabled me to get where I am today. And I think, leaving college right away, it was a little bit scary because when you're used to an idea of something or sort of how, lots of people think, the actions you should take, when you sort of switch it up and change it up, there is a little bit of uncertainty. But I think that in life, it's in those times of, uncertainty when you're taking risks that really just allow you to, live a life that's, full of purpose, that's full of meaning. Because if we're always just doing something that's comfortable, if we're always just doing things that, society or the world or whatever, tells you to do, I don't think you're necessarily living the life that you should be living. And so I think it's just important to sort of look at what you want in your life. What is it that you want to go after? What is it that you think your purpose is in life? And go after it regardless of the risks, regardless of what could go wrong. Because if you're not willing to take chances, I don't know how fulfilling life can be. Because, a life of comfort can be nice, but I think it's much more exciting, much more fun, and much more meaningful, I think, when you take risks and you decide to go out and, try new things and do new things. And so I'm definitely glad I made that decision, and it definitely wasn't easy right away. I was doing lots of different things, delivering food for some time, working for the startup company for a little while, doing lots of different things, and then I started this channel a year and a half ago, and I'll probably make another video where I sort of go into depth about, sort of why I decided to start this channel. But I don't think I would have been here if it wasn't for that decision I made a few years ago, and I'm really, glad I made that decision. So I think that, for college, I think, for some people it's a good thing. For other people, I don't think it's necessary. And I think especially in today's day and age with the internet, with all the different kinds of opportunities that are available, there's definitely so many different paths to go down. And so I think that's one thing that is sort of cool about this time, is that there's so many different options, so many different kinds of things you can do. And it's not like there's just one right way to do something. So I just think for every person, you have to find, what your path is, what it is that you want, and, be willing to take that risk, be willing to take a chance. And it doesn't mean that, the second you decide to take a risk, it's going to work out. I've experienced so many different kinds of failures in the past 4 years, but without those things, I wouldn't have learned the things I've learned, and I wouldn't probably be where I am today if I hadn't, gone through those struggles. Because I think lots of times struggles and obstacles and overcoming them is really what prepares you, I think, for the next thing that comes in your life, and really just equips you for what comes ahead. I think, growing and overcoming those kinds of things really just develops you into a stronger person and someone who's able to handle more and someone who's able to, handle the things that will come, down the line. So lots of people who watch this channel, I know it's lots of different ages, probably tons of you guys went to college. I'm curious to hear that actually. Let me know in the comments down below if you went to college, if you didn't go to college, and sort of what your thoughts are like on your own life and sort of how it's gone for you, and if there are other things you wish you would have done or things you're glad you did. I will be curious to hear, in the comments down below. But that's sort of my story on that, sort of why I decided to do that. But I just wanted to share that today. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.